on Thursday, then obviously had a very tough day today. Thought the first 10 minutes of the first half, the game was kind of going the way we wanted it, and then had a bad spell there. Kind of the same thing as Ohio State, had a bad stretch, where we had a tough time scoring, and they were scoring at the rim, and down 13, I believe, at halftime, and came back and had a good start to the half, turned them over a couple times, got some scores at the rim, and but just ran out of juice. And a couple guys got into foul trouble, Finley Woodward and Kyler DiAugustino, and both those guys got into foul trouble. And those are two guys that we can't afford to lose. They're just very, very pivotal for us, and lost those two guys, and it was a snowball effect. And here's what I'll say about Butler. I think they're really good. I think they're really good this year, and from a defensive perspective, they get up and they guard you. And Coach Mata's done a good job with this roster, and I think they're a really good basketball team.
Questions for Coach? Coach, how hard is it to just kind of get your defense set when they're breaking the press? Like how predicated is your system on forcing those turnovers when you're pressing?
Yeah, I don't know if it's our system is predicated on forcing turnovers. I think this is like a byproduct of our press. I think for us, we're just mentally trying to fatigue our opponent, and we created some turnovers there, and let's give them some credit. They made some threes in transition, which that's pick your poison. If you're going to shoot threes in transition, you better make them, and they did tonight. But this, and we just talked about this in the locker room, like we're going to continue to get better with our press. This is a different style play, and we've got 4 guys that have done it, and we had to put these guys together late, and we're going to continue to get better, and we're going to get this thing done. Like, I know it doesn't look like it right now, and we're going to continue to improve, and we're going to continue to improve in our pressure defense, and we're going to flip this thing this year.
Coach, you're not the only team that plays 3 games this week, but you're one of the only 6 teams in the country to play 3 D1 teams this week. How hard is that with your system, especially with how hard and fast you guys play for 40 minutes, to keep that up back to back to back?
Yeah, I mean, it's college basketball. Like, this is what we signed up for, right? Like, I don't care if they're D2, it doesn't matter. Like, we want to play good teams, and it's what we're trying to do is get ready by March. Like, we want to, and us playing somebody that we're probably going to beat isn't going to help us in the Horizon League, and it's not going to help us in the Horizon League tournament. So let's play Butler. Let's play them every year. I think it's a good game, and this game is going to help us come Horizon League play, and that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to win the Horizon League and take steps to do that, and us playing Butler certainly doesn't hurt us. It's going to help us.
If you can kind of pinpoint an area that, like, let's say, improved against LIU and then improved against Butler today, that you think has been the best trajectory you've seen in your team?
I would have said fouling, but that's not the case. I'd say, here's the thing. Like, our guys didn't quit. Like, they're going to continue to fight. And the game was over, probably with 8 to 10 minutes left in the second half, and they didn't give up. Like, and I'm not into moral victories. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But, like, we need all the reps that we can get right now. And these guys, we started 2 true freshmen, and again, we brought all these guys together. They never ended up quitting. And we talked about there's going to be hurdles and there's going to be speed bumps along the way, and that's part of the growing pains, right? It's part of the growing pains, but we're going to look back on March, and I just told the team, remember how you feel right. Like, remember this feeling right now, because come March, it's going to come. We're going to feel a little bit different about things.
And obviously, you guys are able to sub sometimes 5 people at a time and continue to get fresh bodies in. But what's it say about Butler's staff that they were also able to go to their bench and continue to get production when their subs came in as well?
Yeah, I don't think there's much drop off with the 5 guys on the floor and the players that coach puts in. I think they all can play, and from a physical standpoint, they really hurt us today, and we're not going to see that size within our league. Ajayi's a guy, I know he probably didn't have his 14 and 11, but he's just so physical for us, and he's a tough matchup. He's a tough cover for us, but when they go to the bench with their other bigs, they don't drop off much. He's done a good job.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Coach.
Sound bad.
I mean, I know we won, but
Yeah. We'll start with questions for Xavier and Jalen, and then we'll let them go and go back with Ben after that. So.
Jalen, your on-ball defense, you have 4 steals and just obviously Indy likes to speed you guys up and try to force turnovers. But you guys are able to counter that with your own pressure and turnovers as well. Just how important was that to get those steals and kind of counteract what they were trying to do?
You know, we go at each other every day. Stink, he's made me a better player, and I made him a better player. We're guarding each other full court since the summer, since my first couple of practices, and then when I got back. So just my ability to get better at guarding the ball is all credit to Stink. He just making me a better player, making me a better defender on the ball.
Steve, what's it like for you as a freshman to see a team like this? I mean, I'm sure it's fun to get up and down, but just you feel like the game is maybe slowing down a little bit for you after playing 4 college games?
Yeah, and like Jalen said before, we've been like pressuring each other ever since he got back. I've been feeling like the difference in practice and the pace of slowing down. So he definitely helped me like prepare for this moment, not only playing in the games but just practicing every day against him.
Jalen, obviously they speed you guys up some, but you missed a couple of oops to Drake there in the first half. Is that something of just kind of getting used to the speed there, or is there some degree of that missing the offseason and not having that chemistry?
No, that's fully on me. I gotta get better, so I'm gonna keep working at it. And throughout the year, you're gonna see him dunking the ball off my oops pass for sure.
And Jalen, what's it just like for you to play in a game like this with the pace? And so you miss time, but I'm guessing you feel confident in your leg and your ankle, and just to get up and down the way you did today. Just what's it feel like for you?
When you got a team around you that trusts you and supports you, like I remember when I came in the locker room and got retaped, Finley Bizjack came right up to me and was like, yo, we're here with you. I know you're hurting, but we're here with you. Same with Johan and Jamie. Like, when you got a group of guys that's just like, we're all one, and I feel like that's going to carry us a long way. And just having a team that is going to have my back and vice versa, like, I'll do anything for them, and so just being able to be a part of this team is something special.
Stink here, Jalen mentioned guys like, himself, Johan, Finley, Jamie, guys who've been in the program or have been in college basketball for a long time. How much have you looked to those guys as leaders, not just throughout the offseason, but in these first couple games to kind of figuring out scouts and how that transitions to game?
Yeah, I've looked at it in a positive way. Growing up my whole life, I never really came off the bench, so just being able to watch them and then go in, it makes it a lot easier because I'm just taking in all what they're doing and then trying to duplicate that. So yeah, I look to them a lot.
Obviously, defense for you has been a calling card for your career. How much does it help the acclimation to the college game? Getting into a system where the second you step on the floor, you're able to get in there, getting someone right away for 90 feet defensively.
Yeah, growing up my whole life, I always knew that everybody wanted to score, so I wanted to be different and try to do something that makes me stand out. And I think that's defense, is just taking pride in that. And college is not easy, definitely as your freshman year. So you just want to do anything to try to find a way to get on the floor. And I want to do the little things to do that.
Obviously, as a point guard of the team, you guys had 17 turnovers today. But you also had to really kind of change the pace because of Indy. So what was it like just having to overcome those turnovers and still be able to put up the amount of points you did today?
I think that won't happen again. We definitely had way more turnovers than we should have. Like I said in practice, we pressure each other every day and we don't turn the ball over. I think that was just we got to clean that up, and I think we will.
And along the same lines, the free throw shooting in the first half, you guys missed 8 in a row at one point. It's kind of 2 games in a row where you're struggling from the line a little bit. Just how correctable is that, and just how difficult will that to be in a close game if you need to make those shots? Just how can you guys correct that?
I got full faith in our teams that are going to make free throws. They work out every day. We got guys who are gym rats. That's our team. We're gym rats. We shoot free throws every day, and I know the table will turn, and we'll make our free throws when it matters most.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys. Thanks. Get some rest. Yep.
This is kind of 2 games in a row we're getting a lot of contribution from your bench. I guess I'll start with Jack there. Him kind of playing the 5 and just scoring down low. Just what have you seen from Jack so far?
Well, I think, tremendous growth. The biggest thing I've seen, Jack, is he's very talented offensively, but he's really stepping up defensively, and just he sees rotations better. He's guarding the ball a little bit better. I've said that Jackson will be a heck of a player, and excited to see him get out there. 6 offensive rebounds tonight. He got a little bit winded there at one point, and we had to get him out for a quick break. But no, he's playing hard, and he's seeing the growth. He's seeing the progression of him getting better. I mean, the entire summer he guarded Michael Ajayi every single day, and that was like just a great thing for him to have to do.
Coach, they're not always going to get the head start from half court, but obviously tonight maybe more opportunities for Finley and Jalen to get downhill into the basket than they'll see a lot this season. What do you feel about their decision making in those moves, passing, finishing, how they play?
I thought we were decent. I told Jalen after the game, I said you were 1 short of 2 to 1. If you'd had 1 more turnover, you'd been 2 to 1 turnover to assist. But he had a couple, and the thing that we kept saying to these guys, you can't get lackadaisical in this game, and we had some plays where we were lackadaisical. I don't know exactly how many points they scored off of our turnovers in the first half, but it was a decent amount, I thought. And just with those guys having the ability to get downhill, and 16 was just way too many. I know there's a couple threes in there. But no, the decision making, you're forced in this type of game to make quick decisions, and I thought once we settled down, and I mean we could not make a shot to start the game. We knew we were going to start making them. I just didn't know when. And but we got to, as these guys say, we got to keep building it.
There's a lot of times where you can say your offense ties to your defense. How much different is it this season when you have to be so engaged with your new system defensively? You have to be so engaged at 90 feet that it's harder for you when the shots aren't falling to you. Just kind of, it doesn't need a transition.
Well, it's funny because we have preached defense from day one this summer, and I think in a game like tonight, the thing we had sold our guys going into the game is they didn't want to go against our half-court defense. We had to get back, get set, and make them run the actions that they run very effectively. But I thought for the most part we did a pretty decent job defensively in the half-court. We didn't guard the ball. Once they got past half-court, we never got squared back up. We gave them some layups on that. But we got to keep building it.
And I know you said you felt like the team would start scoring, but what's it say that when you guys did get down and you were struggling, that you guys did kind of right the ship? Because at times last year it started to snowball and you guys wouldn't bounce back.
Right. No, and that's things that we talked about in the off season with these guys, or things that we talk about in practice every single day, and it's not always going to go the way we went. And I thought we did a good job of that tonight, of staying with our defense. We couldn't open it up there at the end of the first half. I think we had 3 turnovers, maybe 4 turnovers in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half that led to some points for them, and challenge them in the second half to come out and stay as solid as we possibly could. That was, the style makes you, get going so fast, but we really wanted our guys in the 2-day prep to just slow down and play our half-court defense once we got there.
Coach, 1-5, 2 really important positions, and playing without Ifosa and Kevin these last 2 games. How have you assessed guys that have kind of had to shift a little positionally these last 2 games, either take on more ball handling or more front court?
Yeah, no, I think guys are doing a good job. I thought Yame, I don't know what his stat line was, but I thought he was really effective tonight. He did a great job breaking the press. He did what we told him to do when he got by guys. He got in front of them and slowed down and made some really good decisions. And games like this, we said it's a player's game, and you're going to have to make plays, and I thought our guys did a pretty good job with that.
Just your bench as a whole, it seemed like everyone that came in was able to contribute. Just how reassuring is it to see the depth and kind of seeing that come to fruition when players are coming in, and you're not coach that when he comes in, there's no drop off once the bench comes in. So just kind of how reassuring is that?
Well, it's been good, and that's what we thought we were going to have going into it. But as one of these guys said, I mean, there's just so much more room where we can keep growing. And Xavier's saying, look, I'm new to this, and I'll do whatever I have to do the best I can to get on the court. And I think that's the type of mentality we got to have as we're moving forward with these guys, because we like our depth, and we want to hopefully continue to wear teams down with that as much as we can.
Last one.
Coach, 30-second chance points tonight to IU Indy's just 8. What does that say to this team's determination and grit, and kind of compared to last year's teams that really may have not had that really interior presence that this team does?
Yeah, you know, I think just from the standpoint of with our size and our athleticism, trying to keep balls alive and trying to earn extra possessions by offensive rebounding is something that we look to do. You know, we had a couple today where crazy things happened. They got breakaway layups on us, but you know, for the most part, I thought we did a pretty decent job of getting back, and even when we crashed on a miss, we didn't get it. I thought we got back and stabilized ourselves pretty good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.